So after Tyson Fury apparently, reportedly, pinged affirmative for the you-know-what, he has been seen, been pictured in, I don't know where it is, Vegas or wherever else in America, taking selfies with fans and what have you. There doesn't appear to be any kind of quarantine or anything like that. And obviously this begs the question, did he actually ping affirmative at all? Because there's people out there assuming that what Tyson Fury is saying and what his team is saying and the reports coming out of that camp, there's people assuming that it's actually true. Oh yeah, but they all pinged affirmative. Says who? Have you seen the paperwork for that? Maybe they just said that they did. Maybe one person used orange juice or lemon juice to ping affirmative, and then it was just assumed that when everyone else said that they pinged affirmative as well, that it was true. Maybe it wasn't true. Or maybe they all used orange juice. I don't know. But it does raise eyebrows and raise questions when you see Tyson Fury out and about in all these pictures. But then again, maybe the rules are different for Nevada or wherever Tyson Fury is. I don't know. There was also a picture of Joseph Parker and conflicting reports about what the situation is with Parker. Because there was apparently reports from New Zealand that Parker had pinged affirmative. But then his manager, David Higgins, came out and said, Parker doesn't have it. So there's all this conflict going on. Then there was Joseph Parker on Instagram, on his Instagram story, filming himself at UFC after he'd apparently pinged, right? So what's that all about? So you got Parker doing that. You got Fury apparently out and about with all these different fans taking selfies. You know, questions have to be asked. And this is why I have to imagine Eddie Hearn is very skeptical about the official reason for this fight being postponed. Eddie Hearn seems to think it's probably not what the reports are saying, and that it's actually them postponing the fight because of poor ticket sales and the fight just not being commercially viable at this point. Whatever the case may be, as Frank Warren has said and others, this is not good for Tyson Fury. He really needs to stay active. I mean, it's not good for Deontay Wilder either. But Tyson Fury, as we know, has had issues with discipline. And he's had issues keeping himself in the right place mentally. And he wanted to stay active so that he wouldn't encounter the same issues in terms of discipline and being in the right place mentally. So this fight getting pushed back is very, very bad for him. I've seen some people within the boxing fraternity saying this actually plays into Wilder's hands. And it might, because Wilder is actually a pure athlete. Tyson Fury isn't. And I always felt as though at some point that is going to come back to haunt Tyson Fury. The fact that he doesn't stay in shape and live the Spartan life of a fighter eventually is going to come and bite him in the butt. Because these guys like Wilder, like Anthony Joshua, like Alexander Usyk, they stay in shape 365. And boxing history shows that you can have tremendously talented fighters. Roberto Duran, for example, tremendous talent. But due to lack of discipline, he ended up losing to guys who he really shouldn't have lost to. A good few times. James Toney being another one. Tremendously talented, but because of lack of discipline, ended up losing some fights he shouldn't really have lost to people who weren't as talented as him. And Tyson Fury came close several times in his career to losing to people that he shouldn't be losing to. Early on in his career, obviously, there was the John McDermott fights. There was the Steve Cunningham fight. There was the Nevin Pikage fight. But even more recently, when he got in there against toothpick brain Otto Wallin. So Tyson Fury has been living dangerously for quite a while. And I have to imagine eventually it's going to catch up with him. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Tyson Fury can buck the trend. But historically, this has proven to be the case time and time again. You can be as talented as anything, but if you don't have that consistency of discipline and staying in shape, it will come back to haunt you. So, anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below about this Tyson Fury situation, whether the official reason for the Deontay Wilder fight being postponed is actually true, or whether you guys are in the same camp as Eddie Hearn and many other people, and you're highly suspicious of this official reason and you find it very dubious. You just don't trust the word coming out of that camp. Because how do we verify anything that they're saying? And as I've said before, it's very easy now to falsify these things, right? There's school kids in the UK doing it. So it's very easy to falsify it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.